Transcendental Book Distribution Key. Shri Prabhupada's Transcendental Book Manasana. He died. All Premanandi. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. All glories to the Son of the Buddha. All glories to Sri Vrinda. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Namaste Saraswati Devi Nirvishesha Sundari Namaste Karine Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. We're reading today from Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila, chapter 10 and verse 36 onwards, I believe. This title of this chapter is, it doesn't give the title, but it's the main trunk of the Chaitanya tree, its branches and sub-branches. Okay. And this is the old version, very old version of the Chaitanya title, which it doesn't give chapter titles. And the new one does, it doesn't. It's the branches and sub-branches of Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan tree, of which Prabhupada says is ISKCON is also one branch. Branch of that tree.
Maharaj, sorry, can we use your computer to project the verse?
Pardon?
Can we use your computer to project the verse?
Reading from the computer. I better have that.
Okay. We take another one, another computer.
Well, I have another computer, but I'm sure someone else has one.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't do it from the mobile. Normally, most times you use mobile.
It doesn't work with this screen. Dayanita is bringing. No problem.
Here's the thing. It would confuse me if you're sat there with my computer.
No, it's okay, it's okay. We will just get to computer.
It would be nice to have it on the screen. Who normally does that? Who normally does it?
There is Parayana or Dayanita.
So we'll read text 36 onwards. We'll probably read a few verses. Today is the beginning of officially of the French Prabhupada book marathon. It's the last day of November. We've actually started in terms of yourselves, Christopher, Harini, Janananda, and Mohini Murti, and a few others have come up from New Mayapur. And although other services have been going on with cooking and deity worship, with Dhanitai Prabhu and Ekanath Prabhu, maybe one or two others have been going on Sankirtan this week, history and books, the last 3 or 4 days. So they will be included in the marathon. Janananda will incorporate them into the scores, not now, but later on, a few days time maybe. And of course Aristanasana Prabhu is in Marseille, in the south of France. And he's been going out for 4 or 5 days on Sankirtan. He starts early, but he'll finish early. He'll finish before Christmas, maybe about the 18th, 20th, something like that. His other services, so obviously his marathon. Most temples have begun their marathon around the world. Most temples. In India, they began pretty much as soon as the end of Kartik. Kartik is almost straight away after Kartik they began their marathon temples. And they'll go through usually till the end of the year. In London they started a week ago. And they'll finish at Christmas. They don't go to the end of the year. We usually find it's been a tradition here in France. The last 6 or 7 years at least that we go to the end to the 31st, isn't it? And if you look at the scores, we found, even though the numbers of devotees going out is maybe not quite so many, because many go home for Christmas and stay, go somewhere else. If something crops up, they go somewhere else. But maybe numbers, maybe not quite so many devotees going out, but when scores go up, we've seen that the best scores have been in the last 5 days of the year. It's become a fashion in most Western countries now that Christmas Eve is not a very good day for Sankirtan. It used to be the biggest day of the year. We would do 3 times more than any other day of the year on Christmas Eve in England usually. It was just phenomenal. Everybody was in a mood of give. We would stay out till 4 o'clock in the morning. We start like 7 in the morning and go till 4 o'clock the next morning. There's no break. Just a 10-minute break for a packet of dates or something. No question of cooked food. It was a Prabhupada described it. Samadhi is not possible on the material plane. It was like a fever. When you realize that this is an urgency or emergency, then it just was. It built up to that pitch on the last day. Almost every single devotee would go out pretty much. Some 1 minute, 1 hour, 10 hours, 15 hours, whatever they could do. Somehow get in. The spirit was contagious. The whole temple was on fire. Intense competition all over the world between France, England. We always had a competition going on. And Los Angeles, West Coast, California. Those 3 zones were the leading 3 in the world in distribution of them. Time of Prabhupada, 76, 77, 78. They were the 3 leading zones. The competition was really intense. Right up to the last moment. We had spies in California and spies in France telling us exactly what's going on. Are they going out or not? And literally we had spies in the community there. The competition was very enthusiastic. It wasn't negative, it was really enthusing. And to increase the distribution of Prabhupada's books. And Prabhupada was very happy to see. And he also encouraged us sometimes to say, like the Tamal Krishna Maharaj with the Radha Damodar. The Radha Damodar party more or less faded out in late 76. They all moved his attention to China. But up to then it was a competition between West Coast, America, and Tamal Krishna and the Radha Damodar, and probably in Cyprus. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj, how can he live if he's beaten by the West Coast and things like that? He was a real competitor. Their main thing is to please Krishna, become Krishna conscious. This is all part of the, you could say, the purification of our heart, the absorption. As Prabhupada said in one letter, he said the best way to control the wild mind is to always be thinking of how to spread Krishna consciousness. We may not be thinking of Krishna at this point of our lives. Maybe on occasion we remember the personality of the Lord. But by meditating on how to spread His glories, how to spread this mission all over the world, that in itself is actually, as Prabhupada said, the service is also non-different than Krishna in one sense, isn't it? Non-different. It's the internal potency of the Lord. So we're praying to be absorbed in that internal potency. So when we're engaged in distributing books and Hare now and preaching the message of Krishna consciousness, we're actually situated in the divine energy. We're in a liberated state, as Prabhupada said. Unfortunately, that's not always the case. Our mind wanders off. But marathons are especially ecstatically beneficial because we tend to be more absorbed in the spirit of service. And the pujaris are also in the marathon because they're happy, they're enthusiastic to take on more service to facilitate this Sankirtan movement. The cooks, the pujaris, everyone gets into the spirit of assisting in the spreading of Krishna consciousness in whatever little way we can. The congregation can also be engaged in big ways, making cookies, or giving out or just giving away gifts for their friends and family, books or prasadam or something or another during this time, encouraging devotees to helping the devotees with, hopefully some devotees will come forward to make nice lunches for devotees on Sankirtan and things like that. Little things everyone can do, but it all helps. So we're going to read now. Before I forget, always keep in mind, one of the biggest yatras in the world that's increased their book distribution over the last few years is Bangladesh. And as you probably know, there's been this last week or two, tremendous violence, vicious violence against the devotees in Bangladesh. Almost top to bottom, although the government has resigned and has refused to ban ISKCON. At least that's one thing. But that's not reducing the violence that certain persons are executing against the mission of Lord Chaitanya and his followers. So we should keep that in mind. In one sense, I don't know if they're going to be having much of a marathon in Bangladesh this year. I doubt it, under the circumstances. They're great heroes of Prabhupada's movement. What sacrifice they're undergoing for Lord Chaitanya, whatever difficulty we may undergo here, it's not easy anywhere in this material world, but it's nothing much compared to what they have to fear. At any moment you may be attacked, and there's people on the warpath to kill, literally, actually openly declaring. Any moment that can happen. Kali Yuga, it's happened before. Not the first time these things have gone on in this Kali Yuga. Many times in the history, these things go on when we completely forget God, and completely forget who we are. We become infatuated with our own pride and so on and so forth, envy of others. It's just the nature of this world. You can't, there's no point trying to analyze the details. We have to get on with the real business. The real business of trying to surrender. Surrender to Krishna in all situations. So those devotees are very heroic and determinedly taking shelter no matter what happens. We can pray, they will be protected, but the real protection is in the heart. Physical protection is only temporary. We're all going to die sooner or later. Because the real protection is the protection of our dependence or our Krishna consciousness. We don't forget our position as the eternal servants of Krishna. Whatever you want, my Lord, whatever happens, we accept it as one reason or another. We accept this as your mercy. We don't see that in the case of others. We do act as much as we can to protect the devotees, to do the needful, but we can only do so much in our present situation. At least we can try to do books and chant the holy name and try to be serious in Krishna consciousness. That is sacrifice for the well protection, the great gratitude towards our brothers and sisters in such troubled areas of Bangladesh, also in Ukraine, other places in the world where those having put into recently tremendous, externally speaking at least, tremendous difficulties, relatively speaking. It's always there in the material. Council was torturing the devotees. Ravana was torturing the devotees. It's not like this is a utopia, this is a material world, especially this Kali Yuga. So it's very common. Jesus Christ was tortured. Hare was tortured. In the past, hundreds of thousands of devotees were slaughtered throughout India by various aggressors, and felt, whatever reason it was, envious of others. No, the Lord is not envious of anyone, even the well-wisher of the aggressor, praying for their welfare in one sense, although acting in a different way maybe to eternally, well, followers of Narada Muni always think of the welfare. So let's read some verses, move along. Text number 36, maybe it's there now. Narayana Pandita Eka Bayudhar Chaitanya Charana Vinu Nahi Janayam. Narayana Pandita. If you want to chant, you can chant along with me as I chant, same simultaneous. Narayana Pandit, the 14th branch, a great and liberal devotee, did not know any shelter but Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet. No other shelter. This is when the Lord reciprocates. This is how he reciprocates. I mentioned it yesterday, I think, when we were talking with Krishna Pad Prabhu and Annapurna. How the Lord gives his protection. And some of you were in the Govardhan retreat just now with Sachinanda Maharaj and Parishna Prabhu. And one of the things I cannot forget, as much as maybe more than other points which were significant, was the beautiful Sachinanda Maharaj described something which is not known to most people. It wasn't known to me. First time I'd heard it, I didn't get time to ask where it was from. But he mentioned in this wonderful pastime of Draupadi, when she was being aggressed by Dushasana, Karna, and the Kauravas, who were trying to derobe her, naked, strip her naked in public. A terrible, terrible thing to do to a chaste lady. It's worse than death. And nobody came to her protection. Not even her husbands could do anything. Bhima wanted to, but he was restrained. And Bhishma, none of them, Vidura was not there. But Bhishma, Drona, nobody stood up to do anything about it. They may have said something, they did nothing. Speaking and doing nothing are not so effective. She used to have. So she was helpless. But she was naturally trying to protect herself. But nothing was happening. Meanwhile, Krishna was in Dwarka. And he was playing dice with Rukmini. Again, Krishna is allowed to do that. We don't. It's against the regulated principles to play chess or dice. I just read it, but Thakur said, chess is gambling. You can gamble if you want. But bear that in mind. All these games with inanimate objects, he said, are gambling. Well, gambling. Deeply sense gratification, nothing more or less. So, anyway, that's a strict in principle, you could say, for those who are serious, bear that in mind. So he was playing dice with him, and he was losing every game. Krishna doesn't lose. But Rukmini was winning. He would throw the dice and one would come up. Rukmini would throw and six would come up each time. I don't know if they have the same system, but that's how it is in the West nowadays. Probably a different thing, but you get the idea. His mind just wasn't there. And Rukmini said, what's going on? What's wrong with you? Oh, I'm very disturbed. Why? One of my dear devotees is in great difficulty. Great difficulty. Rukmini said, why don't you protect her then? He said, I can't. Why not? He said, you'll find out. Something like that. And why? And then all of a sudden, Krishna said, now I will protect her. As this verse here says, that Narayan Pandit, 14th branch, great and liberal devotee, did not know any shelter but Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet. He knew no other shelter. So as long as we're thinking of something else, as Mundakini is not here, she may have been there when Prabhupada said it, I don't know. But here in Paris, Prabhupada gave a description of what humility means. Quite an extraordinary description. he said, humility means that we realize that no one, not our money, not our gun, not our government, not our army, not our friends, nothing, absolutely nothing can protect us. No shelter in this world can really protect us. Only Krishna can protect us. And as until we come to that point of taking exclusive shelter of Krishna, then there's no real shelter. That's why in the end of the Gita, Krishna says, Mami come Sharanam. Surrender completely to me. Give up all other yoga, religion, everything. These are just temporary nimitta. These are nimittika. They're just temporary, like a crutch to learn to walk or something. They're not eternal. Give everything else up and surrender to me completely. When we do that, then Krishna completely gives himself to the devotee. So when Draupadi gave up all endeavor to protect herself by every means of appealing to the other members of the Kauravas, plea of the assembly, no one came to her shelter. She surrendered. Just Govinda, I surrender. Do as you wish, basically. Then Krishna immediately appeared. Because she appeared with a completely surrendered heart, with no other shelter whatsoever. This is how the protection of the Lord comes. We knew no other shelter but Lord Chaitanya. None. Another interesting story is just a story to illustrate the point is of a mother and a child. The mother is with a little baby. Some of you maybe have had children or will have children in the future. We were all children, we can't remember it. We would cry, no doubt. Babies cry. That's their nature. To get what they need or to relieve their pain. So the mother is cooking. She puts the child to rest in the cot. The child wakes up and starts crying, which is normally what happens. It's understandable. The mother comes, turns down the heat or something, comes to the baby, picks up the baby, rocks the baby, kisses whatever the mother does, maybe something. And the baby falls asleep again, peacefully. 10 minutes later, the baby wakes up again, starts crying. The mother does the same thing. And this time, the baby is a little more difficult. She gives it some toys or something to cuddle or play with. And the child's busy then for the next 10 minutes again, throws the dolly out of the pram or cot or whatever it is onto the floor and starts crying. Mother comes back, provides some more trinkets and this and that, and the baby's calmed down again, playing with some more fancy lights or something or another, jingling sounds, something or another. And then 10 minutes later the baby starts crying again. The mother comes back and gives the child nothing. This time the child just knocks it away and is crying and crying and crying and crying and can't stop. The mother then holds the baby, caresses the baby, feeds the baby, and gives her whole time. Because the baby was not satisfied by anything else that the mother did. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And completely took shelter of the mother. So it's like that, as long as we think we can get pleasure from something other than Krishna consciousness, then we will not experience Krishna consciousness. We only get like a shadow or a reflection of Krishna consciousness, which is not the type of, it's not Krishna prema, it's not the real essence. It's related, and that naturally will be there in a step towards Krishna consciousness, but in a mixed stage. The purpose of Krishna consciousness is not to accommodate mixtures, it's to, maybe they're there in order to facilitate our growing up or our maturing. But the ultimate idea is to become free of them, not to adapt them, as if they're part and parcel of pure bhakti or something. They're not. Everything, whether it's family life, whether it's different aparna and ashram, whether it's even different services to a certain extent, have this sort of, let's say, supportive to facilitate the growth of our attraction towards pure devotional service, towards pure chanting of the holy name of the Lord, developing a genuine taste for chanting and hearing Krishna's holy names. So like this is meant to help us. Mostly people kind of like miss the point. Even we may miss the point, but we think it's, we're comfortable, we've got our decaffeinated coffee and our decaffeinated tea, and we're living in a nice apartment because I need it for my, Krishna consciousness and so on and so forth. Everything can be used, no doubt about that. We've got to be careful that we're not becoming attached to these things and enjoying them. They're only much value as they're meant for the pleasure of Krishna. Whatever it is. The body we're in, everything, the knowledge we have. Everything is useless if it's not actually bringing pleasure to Krishna. Samsit here, Haritosh. The goal of everything we do is to bring pleasure to Krishna. So for sure, because it's confirmed, the pure devotees of the Lord, that the concerted efforts to spread this Sankirtan movement in the form of transcendental book distribution, in the form of mass Sankirtan in its various forms of transcendental book distribution and chanting the holy names and distributing prasad and so on, whatever method we can find to introduce Krishna consciousness to others. For sure, this is pleasing to Krishna. He confirmed this in the Bhagavad Gita. So we know those verses in the 18th chapter. There's no one more dear to me. The one who spreads this message of Bhagavad Gita to others, nor will ever be one more dear. For him, perfection of going back to Godhead is guaranteed. But we generally, of course, there's a mixture involved still. And for that reason, sometimes Krishna, in order that we can achieve the highest perfection, he places us in situations forcing us to give up those mixtures, to give up those other attachments. Sometimes the world appear to fall away, but they're actually becoming pure misconceptions or false attachments, misconceptions about the nature of bhakti, or false pride, or attachment to sense enjoyment, whatever it is. So we completely give up these things and completely take shelter of Krishna, full shelter, no other shelter. At least this is a good opportunity to experience a little of that taste on these official marathon sessions to try to encourage us to let go of all of our inhibitions and just throw ourselves, you could say, in a fire of sacrifice. So I don't know what our target is this year. Janananda, do we have a total figure of what we're aiming at this year? 100,000 Gitas? Would be nice, realistically speaking. Maybe they'll give us some figures, but we just try our best. That's all. Krishna's in control. We're just trying to be as try our best. Bring a smile to Srila Prabhupada's face. Bring him happiness. When he hears that these books are being distributed more and more, he naturally feels, why? Because it means the message of Krishna consciousness is spreading. Whether they read or don't read, we'll read something. We will read, even if they don't read. We will read. Some of you read this before. Sometimes you curse the cursor because you can't find it. Preaching. I read these in Vrindavan a couple of days ago. I'll read them again. Love these quotes. These are just a few unlimited quotes. This Krishna conscious movement means preaching. Without preaching, no one can have any taste. And without taste, you won't be able to go on with this Hare ball. If you don't preach in a few years after I leave, then it will be no more Hare Krishna movement. Because no one is preaching in the churches, they're closing up. So why don't you get serious about this preaching work? Practically speaking, my Guru Maharaj has invented this movement for that purpose. My ambition is that you make a revolution against this godless society. That is my mission. That is why I continue on, even at this advanced age. We want to guide everyone. So you have to know my books. Read and preach. Both things must be there. Then you will have potency. Preaching means fighting. So preaching, Prabhupada says, is always difficult. That I have repeatedly said. You cannot take preaching very easygoing. Preaching must be fight. Do you mean to say fighting is easy thing? Fighting is not easy thing. Whenever there is fight, you have to fight with the mind, fight with this and that, but it means, preaching means fighting. Whenever there is fight, there is danger, there is responsibility. So preaching means, what is this preaching? Because people are ignorant, we have to enlighten them. That is preaching. And the Prabhupada's disciples, Janananda said, when you came to the Western world, no one anywhere believed that it would be successful, I think. But actually, it's become very successful by preaching. Srila Prabhupada replied, I myself did not believe I would be successful. Or to speak of others. Because I did it in the proper line, so it has become successful. Prabhupada said, so we have to face them. Our Krishna consciousness movement is facing these rascals, these Duskatina, these Naradams, and to request them to become Krishna conscious. This is Krishna conscious movement. You can't sit idly to show your gorgeousness in a secluded place, imitating Haridas Thakur, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. No, you have to preach. That is the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Amara Ankaya Guru Anantara Adesh. Instruct everyone to follow the orders of Lord Krishna as they are given in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. In this way, you become a spiritual master and try to liberate everyone in the land. That is really following Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not to imitate Haridas Thakur. That is not possible. Even you do that very nicely, that is for your safety. Supposing you are doing nicely, that is for your safety. But one who is facing dangerous position for others' benefit, they are very quickly recognized by Krishna. Prabhupada quotes the verse in the 18th chapter. So if you face, just like fighting soldiers, they are facing danger for the country, the soldiers. They are recognized. Similarly, those who are preachers, on behalf of Krishna, preaching people to take to Krishna consciousness, they are great soldiers. So I'm very happy that you Europeans and Americans, especially, you are helping me. So continue this process, and that is the very easy way to be recognized by Krishna. Because he says, Nachitasman Manusheshu Kaschin Me Priya Kritavan. Who is preaching this Krishna consciousness? I thank you very much that you have come here in Vrindavan, and you are traveling, you are preaching. So let us dedicate this life for preaching Krishna consciousness all over the world. Never mind we die by preaching. Still it will be glorious. Never mind that we die by preaching. Still it will be glorious. Thank you very much. That was in Vrindavan, 76. Well, we could go on with this statements. But time is short. Let's see if there's any more. There's one I wanted to read, but I don't think I'm going to read it. Oh, I know. Well, see if we have time to read. And a few more here. Now the marathon is upon us. This glorious time of the year. Shayan Bhagavan Keshwar Maharaj, of course, is in England right now. He's on the marathon. He's going out distributing books all over England, even though he's so busy. And he said like that. He said that actually he looks forward to the Prabhupada book marathon all year long. It's the best time of the year. We have his got so many things going on everywhere, and the devotees are practically worshipping him, wherever he goes, and he's one of those special souls sent to help this mission. But the Prabhupada Book Marathon is the highlight of this year. Just going out on the street, trying to distribute books in the freezing cold, wind and rain, snow. What is this? How can that be your favourite time of the year? Just sitting there and, thousand devotees in front of you and Jai Maharaj, please take this donation. You can have a feast. Please initiate me. That's the real austerity, by the way. This is like, Prabhupada wrote to us when after our party. For you it's just fun, even though externally it's terrible. Cold, freezing. Sometimes we wake up with ice dripping on our faces. Inside of the van with the icicles hanging from the inside of the van. We're sleeping. Icicles. On the roof, inside roof of the van. They'd be dripping on your nose, waking you up. Going out and taking a bath in the ice. We break the ice and take it out. Sliding. I remember one marathon we were on. It was so cold, unbelievable. Scotland. And the Scottish people don't feel the cold, because they drink whiskey morning to night. And they have no heating in the house. It's like -8 outside. They don't even heat the house. There's no heating. They're staying in this Airbnb type things you call it. Bed and breakfast things. Freezing cold. No more eating is cold milk and dates. Not the hottest food on the planet. And a special mercy. And sometimes there'll be ice on the floor. You just like to the next person and try to stay. You slide across the floor. Blizzards. I remember back to Chaitanya Maharaj, we were in a marathon in Scotland. And he was Raghabeer then. It was so cold. He actually threw the towel and went back to London. Threw the towel and he left and took the train back to London. We got in a room for 3 days in the blizzard. We were stuck in a van. Snow, it's 6 foot high snow. We couldn't open the door of the van. Stuck in this field. There's a market we went to all night long. Just pounded down with snow, and we were trapped in there. It took 2 or 3 days to dig us out. There's hundreds and hundreds of vehicles all stuck in there. Luckily, we had a lot of water and dried food with us. It was such an amazing experience. So this is the first marathon, 1972. Prabhupada writes, I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated December 27th, 72. This is in Los Angeles, by the way. And with great happiness, I have read your figures of amounts of books sold during the 3-day period. It's scarcely believable that more than 17,000 books could have been sold by one temple in 3 days. Wow. Those days, that was unheard of. I mean, if you distributed more than one book in a day, you were like, I remember the first time I saw a devotee distribute more than a couple of books in a day. The devotee came from Holland. He distributed 9 books in one day. And it was like, we were like this. You must be a Shakti Vaishnava. They were afraid to talk to him. It was like, he must be some divinity who descended on earth or something. We were looking up at him. Now the thing really started. That was early 72 that happened. This is late 72. 17,000 books in 3 days. That was unheard of. I don't think they distributed that many books in 3 years. But in 3 days, 17,000 books by now. They just got into this suddenly. They realized, I won't get into the whole story, it's very long, but they just realized, wow, wait a minute. There are millions of people out all night. It's Christmas, 3 days before Christmas. There are millions of people shopping even at 11 o'clock at night. That's how it used to be. Up till 11 at night, people were shopping. And then those who were staying at Rameshwar, he came back at 11 and he thought, there's no one around, or they must have all taken. Last time the only one who stayed out. Then he discovered nobody was back, only he was the first one back at 11 o'clock. Everyone else was still out on Sankirtan. It was long. So Prabhupada was it's scarcely believable. It's scarcely believable. So I am much pleased upon all the boys and girls in LA and all over the world who are understanding and appreciating the unique quality of our transcendental literature. And voluntarily they're going out to distribute despite all circumstances of difficulty. By their effort alone, they are assured to go back home, back to Godhead. Next, I won't read the next sentence, but Prabhupada said, next paragraph, this is transcendental samadhi. It's not possible for ordinary persons. You are really intoxicated, spiritually intoxicated. Go on spreading the Sankirtan movement more and more. I am only one person. But because all of you have kindly cooperated with me, this movement has now become a success all over the world. Be assured there is no more direct way to preach than to distribute Krishna conscious books. Whoever gets the book is benefited. If he reads the book, he is benefited still more. Or if he gives the book to someone else for reading, both he and the other person are benefited. Even if one does not read the book, but simply holds it and sees it, he is benefited. If he simply gives small donation toward the work of Krishna consciousness, he is benefited. And anyone who distributes these transcendental literatures, he is also benefited. Therefore, Sankirtan is the prime benediction for this age. That was a letter in 77, in May. Prabhupada was very sick. He wrote that to the devotees in Germany. Someone other Prabhupada said, if the book goes in one hand, he will be benefited. At least he will see, they have taken so much price. Let me see what is there. If he reads one shloka, his life will be successful. If one shloka, one word. This is such nice thing, even if he reads one word. Therefore we are stressing so much. Please distribute book, distribute book, distribute book. A greater Madanga. We are chanting, playing our Madanga. It is heard within this room or little more. But this Madanga will go home to home, country to country, community to community. This Madanga, Srimad Bhagavatam. Let us try as much as we can to assist Srila Prabhupada in this mission, to order the Gurudev, to print, publish, print, distribute this transcendental literature all over the world. And not forget we have to read the books. Both must go. Both must go. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada's transcendental book Marathon ki jai. We'll start. We don't say we're going to start like a pin and come out like a plough. We'll start like a plough and come out like 100 ploughs. We want to have 150 devotees this year. 151 is our target of participants this year. The year before last we had 138, I think last year 127. Let's see if we can up it a little bit this year to 151. Get your friends. Anyone can distribute a book. Siva, Sikananda, or Achyuta, or myself if they're not around, or Jiva Pranitno, or Priyarani, or any of the devotees, Sankirtan devotees, and buy a book from the temple, give a donation, books, and just distribute it somewhere. What is the difficulty? Is it that hard? I don't think so. Be a part. Let's be a part of the solution. This is the solution. The revolution is the solution. solution. Revolution is the solution. Prabhupada said meetings. What do you say? Resolutions, no solutions. Just, what's the other word you use?
Resolution, revolution, dissolution. No
Dissolutions, all different. Illusion. All different illusions come, but no solutions. This is the solution, the Sankirtan movement. Chanting, preaching Krishna. Okay, action stations. Breakfast time. And, pace yourselves, but at the same time give our whole, give our hearts. Surrender our hearts to the pleasure of the Lord. Do our best. Krishna does the rest. We do our best, Krishna does the rest. If he wants to test us, that's fine. We don't mind. We go out there all day sometimes and just do no good. Sometimes that happens, isn't it? I remember Acharya. Some of you remember Acharya. Most of you don't. He was here for a few years, a disciple back to the Kashmir. He wasn't a very big book distributor. If he did 2 or 3 books in a day, that was not bad. Some days you do none. But for like 6 hours, no book. And I took him to London one time. You came with us, didn't you? To the seminar of initiation. We stopped in Folkestone on the way. It was like a holiday, wasn't it? It was like people were just taking books for him, sweetly, pleasantly. And I said to him afterwards, what do you think of it? It's nice, huh? People are very friendly. He said, no, I prefer it in Paris. Between other peace and the chair. I'm forced to become humble. Oh, no one's taking books, I give up. It's a waste of time. That wasn't his mood. That made him more determined to at least try. Even though he didn't get much of a score. Determined. We go every day we go. Every single day. Alone. All over Paris, you go to a different suburb every day. You go on the metro, get off at one station. Next day, you know, next station is covering the city. Very successful. If you're into it, I'll tell you, you can do very well. You don't have to be in the center of Paris every day. But during the marathon, sometimes we do have that other factor, the spirit of, being together. And it's like, I've even done. Books are flying out the boxes or whatever. We got Maha Sankirtan bags this year. Trolleys. We can get 3 or 4 boxes of Gitas in each one of those blue trolleys.
Yeah.
Mind you, it weighs 60 kilos once you do that.
Yeah.
Trolley alone weighs 15, I think. I can't even pick it up. These are for giants, Strong arm men.
Germany, merci.
Yeah, the German. We're not quite like them.
No. We'll try. We'll see.
No. You will be exhausted before you get out of the street. I need 2 hours rest now.
We'll sit with them.
Anyway, we'll see what we can do. The tutor's come, he's really strong. Look at him. He's Punjabi, Punjabi is like famous for that power. He can take 2 of those trolleys at once without walking the city. Look at those muscles. Okay, now let's see what Krishna means. 3 or 4 more new black ones arrived yesterday. 4, 3, I wanted all of them. How many were supposed to come? 3? 3 came. That's a good start. We got 5 or 6 trolleys done. If we have to get more, we'll have to get more. I've got some socks, warm socks, if anyone needs some warm socks. I've got 1 pair of gloves left, I think, and a couple of bobble hats, if anyone needs them. We need another jumper. I've got 1 or 2 spares. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Holiness, Janananda, Goswami ki jai.